What does it look like to stand in your divinity? You know how you got into this world the way it is. What does it look like if you was to stand in your divinity? It's a lot of things you got to go through when you start standing in your divinity, especially if you start out as a kid or an infant. It's a lot, and everything opposing to what's outside of this world is going to be against you. Every single thing, even if you make mistakes as you go along, it's going to be against you. It's a good way to make an example, right? Especially if you're trying to flex a level of power, like if you want to show something indifferent, you know what I mean? You want to be like, this is what's going to happen. Nothing tells divine what's going to happen. And if divine got to come here and show you what that is, it might be what you got to have. There be so many things I be wanting to tell people but it's like, you got to learn. But look, though, every piece of knowledge is not for every individual. Reason why is because it didn't come to every individual. Some of the knowledges that come may be similar, but not every piece of knowledge. And that's because the knowledge that you're getting is for you to work at an optimum rate. It's a lot of stuff I could be saying to y'all, but most of that shit is for me. This is what I'm clearly understanding. It's mostly for me. And I really don't care to gain no attention from nobody. That's not the type of person I've really ever been. You know what I mean? But I do have something to share. And it's mostly going to be for people who are seeking it out. So the lines are still open. The email is still available. If you want to book consultation with me and get a clear understanding on what's really going on with you, your existence, and how you are supposed to combat that. I'm not going to tell you about yourself. I'm just going to point you to the doorway of you. And I'm going to show you the true doorway of what that is. We're not going to keep having forums and conversations and uploads and all this nonsense when you can do this shit yourself on a higher attribute. I have proven testimony that I can bring and have people speak to you in the value of after we've had conversations, and they'll tell you themselves, everybody I've actually touched in those particular ways, they've shed tears, they've reached precipice, they've came to a higher conscious awareness, and they felt the chills and the goosebumps. They literally feel the power rush through them as they change or they step into their true self. I've done this for a few people, and that's just what the Most High allows me to do through this vessel. And there'll be proof in everything that you need to see and understand. Okay. So for the most part, yeah, do that. Just holler at me if that's what you want. I'm in nature, you know what I mean? Like I try to stay in nature and stay active. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do other things right now that I'm not even considering uh, an aspect to share with the world because it's a part of my growth. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Um, as far as in my life, yeah, I'm going somewhere, but my door is never closed. And I think ultimately the ministry is coming, the place where we combine the values and have it all laid out step by step through the true aspect of how you connect from the basics. The basics, not everybody else's basis, but the basics of naturality and universal principle combination. Um, I believe that's coming into fruition. And me being down on the ground and the natural aspect now, off of the streets, but on the natural, it's like I'm seeing more of a capability of possibilities. It's like my mind is giving me the blueprints of what I can do, right? And I'm remembering a lot of things that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to sustain certain things. So everything plays a role. That's a tightrope right there. That's a it's just a rope. You know what I mean, that you can climb on or whatever. It's not a power line. It's a rope. But yeah, um, everything now, the way I think now is it's like I don't just everything has to be with divine. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. That's just the vibes. And if you're dealing with it in another retrospect, then you're gonna be shortchanging yourself, right? I ain't gonna give too much right now. We had 6 minutes, so I'm out of here. Naga.